Alright, let's cut the crap. It's World Indoor Championship weekend, so let's get a crack on. Day 1 saw a ton of qualification rounds, but the main final was the men's 60 metre. And there's one very important message to take away from this race. Come outdoors, the men's 100 metre is going to be insane.
Anthony takes it! A new star is born!
A couple weekends ago, I made a video called The Future of Sprinting is Here, and they're mean. And well, here's the future. 21-year-old Jordan Anthony, straight out of the NCAA into his rookie pro season, and already taking a world title out of the hands of serial second place finisher Cashain Thompson, veteran and multiple time global medalist Trayvon Bromell, defending indoor world champion Jeremiah Azu, and another rising talent who was also a bronze medalist in the 200 metre worlds last year, Brian Lavelle. Four of the 5 aforementioned athletes moving in sync from the gun before Anthony puts on a defining burst in the mid portion.
Anthony at the moment. Anthony takes it.
Leaving everyone to lick his heels, and that was it. No one could respond. Anthony went from not even making the finals last year at the US trials to handedly demolishing the world's best in a single off season. And looking a little bit closer at this race, Azu, the defending champ, was actually in second around at the midpoint, but Bromell and Thompson just had better finishes, edging him out of the middle spots 6:45 apiece. Although this was Anthony's first global championship appearance, he's been putting on such a clinic this season. He was a pretty heavy favourite through and through, and enough so that World Athletics had made him the poster boy of this event in their marketing. And in fact, they actually guessed the whole podium correct. 6.41 seconds now moves him to the 4th fastest 60 metre athlete of all time, and he's proven it's not a one-off either, finishing the season running 4 races under 6:45. And to win this title, it's not like he beat a field of big names who were out of shape and just there to run. I already mentioned the accolades of these athletes and how stacked this field was for a 60 metre world championships, but they came out here and all ran personal bests as well. He forcefully pried this gold out of their hands. And to emphasize just how fast this field was, poor Jeremiah Azu just became the first athlete in the history of this event to run under 6.5 and finish outside the medals. And he ran way under 6.5 at that. I've already mentioned this race has now landed him in the top 4 of all time. But when we delve a little deeper into this list, the only guys to have run the 60 metre faster, Coleman, Maurice Green, Ronnie Baker, Lamont Marcel Jacobs, have all run 9.83 or faster, except Andre Cashain, but he was a start merchant. And even then, Coleman was a start merchant, and he went 9.76 anyway. My point is, Anthony is due for something really fast come outdoors. I was quite critical of him last year, after falling a bit short of expectations after his windy 9.75. Looking back though, I do have to admit, like with most college athletes, rather than him falling short talent-wise, it was probably the long season, after NCAA indoors, NCAA outdoors, running fast in between, and then trying to compete with the pros. He wasn't really given a fair shot. But his relaxed running is such a stark contrast to even a lot of these other guys in the 60 metre that it was turning heads last year. And now training with Noah Lyle's coach, he has without a doubt hit another level. This 6:41 cutting an entire 0.06 seconds from his previous year's personal best. How this translates to his 100 metre outdoors will be interesting to see. At the bare minimum, it means cutting 0.06 seconds off his legal PR of 9.95. But from watching his races last year, his race was at its strongest through the first 70 metres, in which, after he did have a good finish, not a weak one by any means, but nothing special even compared to NCAA athletes. Although I do think last year's results might not mean much anymore, since clearly, based off today, he's transformed into a significantly stronger athlete. I mean, he's cooking Cashain Thompson and Bromell through 60 metres. That is their strength and their 9.7 guys. Add to the fact, they just ran PBs indoors. A high 9.8 for Anthony is an extremely pessimistic prediction, and honestly, almost insulting considering what he just did. As much as I believe this 9.75 last year was fake, I feel almost certain he's looking to run a real one this year. Now, let's chat about the other fellas. Cashain Thompson with another silver is pretty darn funny. He is the Silver Surfer. Honestly though, can't hate him, and props to him really. He's farming global medals, and when he shows up, he is a threat every time. But his form is getting a little uglier every time I see him. What I will argue though, is Jamaicans never take indoors seriously. Don't get me wrong, he's definitely running seriously, but they just don't try to peak for it. Historically anyways. Hence Powell, Blake or Bolt never winning or really showing up. Powell did show up once to a World Indoors, and choked again. God, you really couldn't make this up if you tried. But although Cashain did lose here today, I wouldn't expect Anthony to crush Cashain come outdoors simply based off this performance, nor Lavelle either, who pulled up early in the final. And then there's Trayvon Bromell, who did his best work in the semi-finals, going 6:42, and it was just outright foul. He bulleted out on Cashain, a flawless start, and gave him the stank eye across the line.
Trayvon Bromell streaking away at the moment, but here comes Cashain.
I'm pretty sure after the semi, he was the hard favourite going into the final. And I honestly think he could have gone faster this exact race had he tried through the line. But even if you do have more to give in a semi, that doesn't mean you have more to give for the final, hence 6:45 coming third. Bromell is a ridiculously talented athlete, I say it every time, but he has problems with injuries and running rounds. I've talked about the 2-season Bromell phenomena before. Every time he runs 2 seasons in a row, he ends up running a 9.7, or at least being in 9.7 shape. And this year we're entering his second healthy season, and we've just seen him equal his indoor 60-meter PR, while staring down competitors. Bromell is 30 now, which might not mean much in the modern era of sprinting, but 10 years ago he won this very title against the Suffer Pal with a 6:47. Later that year, he went on to run 9:84 outdoors without super spikes. And in 2023, the year he ran 6:42, was after an outdoor global medal and 2 9.7s the year before that. It's not difficult math. He's heading into top shape, which means 9.7 is not only possible for him, but Thompson and Anthony. And we haven't even seen Noah Lyles, Oblique Seville, Tabogo, Bednarik, or Coleman run seriously yet. This sprints are looking to be ridiculously deep this year, and that much is a certainty. This video is probably going up during day 2, but I'll see you after day 2 for another recap. Also, Mahuchik attempted 206 after taking out the women's high jump. None of the attempts actually looking too good, but her confidence and health are back. It's a bit of a wild call, but somewhere this year, I promise you, we're going to see her attempt 211. See you later.